Hey everybody, I'm back tonight. I'm going to do a little video on a pro wrestler, Ravishing Rick Rude. Now, a lot of you guys remember Ravishing Rick Rude. Some of you don't, obviously, because you're too young. Rick Rude died very young, died at 40 years old. Pretty crazy stuff. 40 years old. Some say a heart attack, some say a mix of prescription drugs, which is pretty crazy stuff. But nevertheless, Rick Rude was a pretty popular wrestler in the 80s. He actually was very popular, and he actually grew up with a lot of other wrestlers in Robbinsdale, Minnesota. Curt Hennig, Barry Dorso, John Nord, among a few. Of course, Curt Hennig is dead now as well. He died at a very young age. Ravishing Rick Rude was billed at 6'3", 251. Probably wasn't that tall, probably wasn't that heavy, but nevertheless was a very built guy. And he was mainly a heel, I guess you could say. But, you know, due to his ravishing looks, I think he had a period where he was also a face. But nevertheless, he had some issues, and his career was kind of cut short by an injury. He hurt his back, and he collected a Lloyd's of London insurance policy. Then he kind of became a guy, you know, that hangs out with the wrestlers and leads them to the ring and kind of interferes with their matches. I don't know what you want to call him, I guess. Protege or whatever the hell they want to call him. But pretty interesting stuff. Ravishing Rick Rude, of course. A lot of rumors going around. The reason I made the video is because really his death was a pretty crazy thing. They really weren't sure. I don't know if anybody's really sure to this day what caused his death. And they did an interview with the Honky Tonk Man. Some of you remember the Honky Tonk Man. Now, the Honky Tonk Man claims that Rude thought he could cure erectile dysfunction. Now, apparently, he assumed Rick Rude, or he knew Rick Rude was at ED, so he wanted Rude injected Viagra into himself. This caused an infection, which resulted in amputation. Yeah, I guess it was ding-a-ling. And then he said the hell of it and killed himself. Now, most people think that is a bullshit story. But, nevertheless, the autopsy ruled his death as heart failure due to mixing multiple medications. And now, some people actually think that Rude committed suicide. Well, that's another rumor going around, but because he suffered from depression. But nevertheless, it probably was apparently was big into the painkillers. Like a lot of these guys, Curt Hennig was big into the painkillers. You know, you get started on that stuff, and it's just a path that takes you to hell, and there's not much you can do about it beyond that point. You either kick it, or it kicks you right in the ass. That's kind of the story. You know, Rick Rude, very promising career, cut short like so many, man. 40 years old. That is insane, man. Wrestling, bodybuilding, just some of the most dangerous, and you know, your chances of living a long, healthy life in those two fields is just not very good.